Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Poppin, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my loading screens for clients or for anyone that wants one. So I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial, and if you do, make sure you leave a like. Anything is supported. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright, so before I get started, I just want to say that I'm going to be leaving a project file down below and a Photoshop file down below. So you guys can use those to change your text and whatever you want to do. But anyways, you want to start off by being in Fortnite. And just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to really use anything special, so I'm going to go ahead and load into a playground match with the default skin, and it doesn't really matter what time it is, but let's just go ahead and load it. So now that you've loaded in, you're going to want to choose somewhere that kind of goes with your skin. So for this instance, I'm actually going to go towards Paradise Palms, and you can obviously go anywhere you want to use as your backdrop. So once you load into the game, you're going to want to find somewhere that has a pretty cool background. So for this instance, I'm going to use this, and I usually like to have a prop nearby. So for example, this cactus or this tree, and you just want to face your back towards it so that way it's in the background once you record the cinematic. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to choose an emote. So for this one, I'm going to just do the dance moves because it goes along with, the character. And now we're going to go ahead and leave. That's all we really need in Playground. And now we're going to go ahead and head into the replay files, where we're going to go ahead and record the cinematic that we need for the loading screen. So once you load up your replay file, you're going to want to find the spot where you start dancing. So I'm actually going to look for that real quick, and it's around here. So you want to change your camera to drone attach. If you're on a computer, you want to turn your settings all to epic because it makes the game look the best. So now that you're in position, you want to go into your camera settings and turn your aperture down to, I usually like to go between 1 and 1.4 for loading screens. And then I turn my focal length up, and then you turn your speed down, your replay speed down to about 0.25 or 0.5. For this one, I'm going to go with 0.25. And then depending on what side the text is, for this tutorial, the project file is going to have the text on the right side. You're going to want to position your character accordingly. So if your text were on the left side, you would position the character more towards the right, but for this one, since the text is on the right side, you're going to place it more towards the left. Alright, and then you're going to want to hide your HUD. And to record the cinematic, I'm going to be using Shadow Play. So find some program that you can use to record it, and just start the recording. Alright, so now that it starts dancing, you're going to want to record the full motion. So we're just going to sit through here and wait for it to finish. Alright, and that's about good enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of Fortnite. So now that I close out of Fortnite, this is the folder that you guys are going to be given. It's going to have the loading screen project file, and it's going to have the Photoshop file for the Fortnite loading screen text. So you're going to want to open your Fortnite loading screen text file. If you don't have Photoshop, there's a website called Photopea. I'll leave it down below, where you can open up the Photoshop file and change the text in there and save it all. So anyways, I'm going to leave this all as your name for default, but what I usually do is I turn off the background and then I save it. So to do that, I go to File, Export, Save for Web, and then you just press save it wherever you want. And then you can go ahead and close out of that. Alright, now you're going to want to open the project file. Alright, and the project file is actually going to come with the loading bar already in here, so you guys don't have to worry about that. To save time, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you guys. So what I usually do is I'll find the video, and then you drag that into After Effects, and you also want to drag the other files, your text and your background file, into it. And once you have that, you want to start off with your game. And as you guys can see, I have black bars around the edge, so to get rid of that, you can press Ctrl Alt F and it'll fit it to the screen, and you guys don't have to deal with that anymore. And then you can go ahead and drag your loading bar above the gameplay but below the loading bar, and make sure you do Ctrl Alt F again, and then you can drag your text and do Ctrl Alt F again. And as you guys can see, the text and the background are there. So since this is the background, the black background, I usually don't like to have a solid, so what I usually do is I press T on my keyboard to bring up the opacity, and I turn it down to around 50, sometimes around 50 and 70. You can find your good medium, and whatever you like you can do. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and go with 60 and keep it at that. And also, you want to make sure you turn down your volume for your recording, because otherwise it'll show up once you add a song or something to it. And you can go ahead and press S to scale it however you want. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so that it looks a little bit better, and possibly a little bit more. And this is all personal preference, so do whatever you want to do with that. And I'm going to go with around 180, and that looks about good. So then you want to go ahead and search for the part where it starts dancing. So just scroll through until it starts dancing. So we actually went a little bit too far right there. So right there is about fine. Make sure you trim it. So to trim it, you can press Alt and then the bracket key on your keyboard, and then to trim it at the end, you press Alt and the right bracket key on your keyboard. And what I usually like to do around here is I select the first layer and then hold Shift and then select the last layer, so it selects all of them, and then I right click, pre-compose, make sure you move all attributes into a new composition and check this little mark and press OK. And once you have that, I have a preset that I actually have where it has color correction, RSMB, and all that stuff. It's not necessary, but you can. I do like to do it because it makes it look a lot better. And I just drag it on right onto my composition, and as you guys can see, the colors change a lot once I do that, and it makes it pop out a lot more. So once I have that done, I go to composition, and I actually add it to the Adobe Media Encoder, which is a separate program that you need, and if you don't have it, I'm sure there's ways you can find it on the internet. There it is. Alright, so since it's already opening, you're going to want to wait for it to give it a little second for it to process everything. And then where it says output file, you want to click there, then choose where you want your file to go. So name it whatever you want, press save, and then where it says preset, I usually render in 4K, but for this instance we're actually going to render in 1080, which is completely fine. So that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. If it helped you and it taught you how to make loading screens, then be sure to check out my socials down below. And remember, if you do want a loading screen, make sure to hit me up on Twitter at @AKPoppin. Right as this video is going live, I'm going to be doing a giveaway on Twitter, and I will be choosing the winner once I hit 2,000 followers. So make sure to enter that giveaway by retweeting, liking. I'll link the post down below so you guys can enter that giveaway as well if you want a loading screen. But anyways, that's about it. See you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. More tutorials coming soon, more content, more edits, everything. All right, peace guys.